Around 2 years ago, there was a time when I had to go from here, from my home to Bangalore. It was an emergency because of some reason I had to go, and I did not have much time to plan and book the tickets for it. So I had to go in general section of the train. So I went because somewhere I felt that somehow I'll make the journey. So I went there, and the moment I saw the entire crowd, it just made me feel like shit. What did I do? Like, can I go in this train? Because it was so much crowded and there is no seat for you to sit. And I'm not that kind of a guy who always argue in the train and then you get a seat, because that's how you get a seat in the train if you particularly go in the general section of the particularly India. So mostly what you need to do is you need to fight with other people who are in the train, and if somebody is sleeping or if somebody has kept his bag on the seating area, so you can ask them to keep it aside so that you can sit over there. They will still argue with you that somebody is there, somebody is going to come, or somehow you have to make your way out and sit. So that's how you make the entire journey, by sitting. So that's how you get a seat in the general section. But this is a time, in fact, that I could not choose another way, another medium in which I could have made this entire journey, or instantly I could have brought a ticket in the flight or something, because this was a time where every penny that I used to have used to be a calculated one. So situations are like, if I'm going to the Bangalore, I always have 5,000 rupees. Like, I have 5,000 rupees, and this entire month I have to spend within this much amount of money, because I do not know where the next money is going to come to me. So this is the kind of situation that I was in during that time. So I could not even afford a ticket for the flight. So instantly, even if there's some journey has to happen, so I could not make it the way I want, or make a comfortable journey. I had to manage so many things, small things. So somehow I got onto the train, and then throughout the journey it was around 24 to 28 hours of journey, and then there is no place to sit. So for some times I stood there around 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours. Train is moving step by step, stop by stop it is stopping. Sometimes people are getting off the train, sometimes people are getting down the trains. But mostly the train is so much crowded that no matter how many people are getting down, you are not going to get a seat. And there are so many people who are doing long journeys. So everybody who was there in that space, they were sitting or they were sleeping completely, so you do not know which person is going to get up, and the person who next to that seat always takes the seat. So it was a completely different scenario in which I spent around 2 to 3 hours standing in the train. But after a certain point I felt like maybe this is not how I can make the entire journey, because it's gonna be 24 to 28 hours journey, and nobody can like survive the entire journey by standing, right? Then after a certain point I felt like, let me just sit down here. I sat down there, and the biggest challenge when you sit down there is it was in the path where exactly I was standing. When you exactly sitting down there are a lot of different people who, particularly the vendors or the other people who are moving here and there, people who are going to the toilets and all. Those people always come and go, and they always crush you, and then they do all that stuff. So they always jump on you and then go. So sometimes what happens is they just hit you, they just put their leg on you, or their chappal, whatever the footwear they are wearing, it was already dirty, and when you are sitting down there, somebody will put his feet like this, or it will just touch your pant or somehow your body, and then you feel quite weird, because somebody is just stepping on you, But all of these things made me feel so much bad within myself, that I was feeling really horrible. This was not a feeling that I could ever explain, but it was much tough for me. Then there was one incident that happened. It just broke my heart that I am not really having so much of money with myself. So that incident was after a certain point of time, when somebody went to toilet, and the toilet gets worse and worse with the time as it goes, because people start urinating in the floor area of the toilet. So the entire room, the floor area, it gets, they start doing the toilet thing, and it doesn't go after a certain point of time, it gets choked. So the water is there in the floor, it doesn't go down. And then people who are going to the toilets because of like obvious reasons, and then they cannot avoid that also, they go to the toilet still. And when they go, their feet or particularly the footways get wet with that urines and all, and then they come back. So there was one incident particularly when this guy came and he stepped on me with that foot. It felt so much of disgust within me. I felt, what am I doing, what is happening to me, why this is happening to me. I really feel bad that this is not something that should have happened to me. And that is the moment I told myself, within myself, that this is the last time I'm traveling in the general section. And next time I'll have so much of money with myself that I will never be traveling like this forever in my life. But everything that happens to us is not always determined by us. Most of the time it is the society, it is the universe that is determining lots of things for us. So similar thing happened to me after coming from this ashram. After spending this 9 months in the ashram, I booked a ticket 3 months before of Sadhanapada gets completed. But the ticket I booked was for AC. I had money by then, and I did book for AC, but it was in waiting list. So I thought it's 3 months right now, so within 3 months definitely the waiting list will clear itself. And slowly the time passed, but the waiting list did not clear itself. I thought towards the end only, when the chart gets prepared, most people go like this, and that's the particular moment when most people cancel their tickets. So I thought towards that end I might be able to get a ticket like that, get a seat like that. But eventually what happened is that ticket did not get confirmed. It remained in waiting even after the chart being prepared. So anyway, I had to leave the ashram. I already left the ashram. I came back to the railway stations. I found one guy over there who was also coming with me in the same train. Not in the same train exactly. He was also coming with me, but he also did not have his train, or somehow his ticket also got cancelled, or I do not know what exactly happened to him, what was his story, but he was supposed to also come in the general sections. So what we did is we went and we took some general tickets. But my plan was that now I had money, so I could easily spend my money on anything, particularly to make my journey comfortable. So since I had money, so I thought let's go to the what do we call it, reservation sections only. But then whenever the TT comes, you pay the full amount as a fine. So he takes the full amount as a fine, but he will give you a seat, or he will let you stay there, because when you are when you are traveling in a reservation sections, mostly you get a seat over there, because not many people are sitting here and there like a general sections. So technically you get a particular place to sit, mostly you will get. So that is what was my intention. At least even if I am not getting any kind of place to sleep, if I am getting a place to simply sit also, this is good enough for me. Since I am doing so much of sadhana since the beginning of the year, it's been 9 months I am doing sadhana, so there is a certain sense of stability within me that I can easily sit for a long period of time without feeling pain here and there in my body. So what I did is, that is what was my intention when I came here. But this guy was very confused. He never traveled in the general section before. I do not know whether he traveled in the train before or not. So somehow he was confused, and I saw one train. We actually booked one train, one general ticket, but the train that was going, I do not know which train it was going, but it was going towards the same area, like Coimbatore to Bhubaneswar. It was also coming, but I do not know whether the ticket was for that train or the next train. I asked for the next train, but I do not still know that whether I can board that train or not. But I saw that train general section was quite empty, so I thought, okay, let's go into this. But there was this guy, he was not sure whether to go or not, so I thought, okay, let's stay with him. So I stayed with him. The next train came, and that train, my god, it was crowded like anything. So we had two bags of us, and then somehow we managed to get the bags, and then we kept somewhere. And then we sat on the floor, particularly exactly on the entrance, the train entrance. You might have seen there, so many people just sit and they travel from there. So I sat there, and initially I thought that we'll be going to the reservation sections only, but slowly as time passed, I did not feel any importance of that. Somehow there are so many people around us, like 3-4 people who were traveling. We became friends along with it, and then we started talking here and there, lots of different stuff, useless stuff. When the vendor comes, like vendor as in the people who comes and sell something like samosa and tea and all that stuff, we started buying and all that, eating and stuff. So all that thing happened, and the journey went so casual, so normal, that I did not feel like I was in a general section this time. So initially there was a point in time where I was thinking that I will never travel in the general section ever in my life, but then life made me travel in the general section again. But this time the experience is completely different, because even if the same thing would have happened to me that has happened before also, maybe I would have reacted to it much differently this time, because the way I am, the way I have become after the Sadhanapada process is completely different, that I feel, at least within myself. So this is one big thing that happened to me, that I'm not right now feeling a sense of struggle, like any kind of friction within myself to go through any adversity in my life. I would also like to add one more incident that has happened, was when whenever I used to feel like traveling, it used to give me like nightmares. I never like to travel because it just makes me uncomfortable. Right now I have a place, I have stay here, I can sleep, I can go toilet, I can eat something, or I can simply do nothing. That much is possible with myself. But when you are traveling, there is no certainty for you to where to go to toilets, what to eat, and where to sleep. There is no place to rest. So time to time, with time, you get more and more exhausted. So this is something that doesn't make me feel good, make me feel very much uncomfortable. So I always like to avoid travel, and even if I'm traveling, then I would always try to make it as certain as possible, like ticket booked. I generally do not go in AC. So far I have not ever been in AC, but still I always try to book a ticket, because at least you have a place to sleep, at least you have a place to rest, and there is some place, something here and there might be we can adjust it, but mostly at least a place for you to be there. It is something that is needed for me to a reserved one. But suddenly this time when I came home, I thought, let's go to Bhuvanipatna and then to my college and then get my certificates back, because it's been 4 years I did not take my certificate. Definitely I did so many jobs without them. It was possible easily, and I still feel like I will not need them in my life ever, but still I thought, okay, let's get them, as those are mine only, and I did pay for it, so let's get them. So I went and I came back. So this process of planning that I'll go and come back was not an easy process for me, because it's a long journey of like 2 days, one day is going, one day coming. This is a long journey, and traveling usually when it makes me uncomfortable. This time I did approach it like a normal thing. It's like everything that it's like something that I do regularly, that I do usually. So this is one thing that I felt certain difference within myself, particularly after the Sadhanapada. And I think there is so many things that Sadhanapada has changed within myself that I do not know right now, but over the time, with gradually when situations are unfolding not the way I expect, and the reaction that I'm doing towards it, or the response that I'm the way I'm responding towards these situations is completely different. So this is one thing that makes me feel ki definitely Sadhanapada has created a lot of changes within myself. So that is what I feel within myself. So there was a point in time when I was not feeling comfortable with so many things, but slowly the sense of acceptance has come within me, that right now I can accept things easily. So that is the thing that I wanted to share with you in this particular video. So if you are confused about Sadhanapada, or if you do not know what is Sadhanapada even, so do check it out. And this is, I think, I would say this is the way of living a life. At least somebody, if they get trained to live life this way, Sadhanapada way, then I could honestly say their life journey will be a lot easier, because in small things, when people get entangled and people feel so much of resistance and friction within themselves, these frictions will not be there, and there will be a smooth way of being throughout the journey, even if the adversity situations are coming. So that is what about this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.